Nets Kingdom.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Saint and Chubbs. We are starting the new season of Nets Kingdom a lot like the Brooklyn Nets. We are down. Rage is down. AJ's down. No, they're not injured. They're not down. Life is in session for everybody in Nets Kingdom. So we've had a little bit of a rocky start to the season. Although in the next week, things will start getting back in the swing of things with AJ being back and the crew being back, and we're going to start pumping things out. Got some new stuff coming this year, so we're excited. Chubbs, it has been a very interesting offseason. It's been a very interesting start to the season. Definitely did not think we would find ourselves 6-6. How are you doing, bud? Did I lose you, Chubbs? I'm probably going to wind up streaming tonight. Watch, Chubbs is going to drop out here at any moment. Where you at, Chubbs? Anyways, tonight, Nets lose, obviously. Tonight is the first night, I will say, that I honestly checked out of the game. Okay, now I got two Chubbs. This is weird tonight. All right, let me get rid of this Chubbs and then add this Chubbs.
Yeah, I think StreamYard is StreamYard is
glitching tonight.
Yeah, it's having a stroke tonight. Yeah,
there was two different Chubbses for a minute there, and I'm like, let me get rid of this Chubbs.
I think StreamYard's acting up a little bit.
It's all good. I don't know if you heard what I said. I just kind of said we're getting a rough start to the season here, but just like the Nets, hopefully AJ will be joining us. I know Jay from BK wants to come on tonight. Once he's doing like a power hour of spaces, and then he's gonna hop on so we can get into more discussion. But I was asking you. I said, hey, it's been a minute since we've done this, and just wanted to see how you were doing, how your off season went. You know, obviously. You know what's taking place for the Nets and how the season starts. I was just seeing how you're doing, man. What's going on?
Once season's over, it's just life as usual. I mean, it was always life and just doing this at the same time, but now it's just you get a little more time to focus. You know, I believe I brought back Nets Kingdom Radio. For those who know, the Twitter page, I kind of just deleted it and just rebirthed the entire page into something new. It wasn't kind of drastic because that page did have it was gaining traction. It had a lot of followers, but I kind of felt like that page, from foundation, it wasn't solid. So I feel like if something wasn't solid from that, you got to just start over a bit. So kind of been doing stuff with that. But anyway,
is this kind of like the conversation you and I had about that one day? About like a rebranding thing of it or something?
Something like that.
From a different angle?
Yeah, different angle. So that new page, I kind of went more of a hip-hop news route, and I felt like that was a little more sustainable, given the fact of just putting up mixes and nothing else. That kind of gave a big empty spot in that page, kind of. So I definitely like where I'm going with it.
Do you have a name for it yet, or is it?
Nah, it's still Nets Kingdom Radio.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a ton of content just coming. So probably this weekend you're gonna get a little something. Definitely more reviews coming. I remember I did a Travis Scott Utopia review, so a lot of people like that. So
nice. I'm down for that. That's cool. Yeah, man. I don't know about you tonight. I'm pulling up the game info because I did pay attention. I felt really good watching the first quarter. I felt the team came out with good defense. They came out with good energy. I was like, okay, hey, this will probably be like some of the games that we've watched so far. And it just like, you know what it was for me is at the end of the second quarter, the last couple minutes, once again, second quarter, where it just like it's like the life went out of the Nets at that point and it never came back, with the exception of like 3 players tonight, like 3-4 players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was, it felt like once it hit that second, I say here are the stats. Like once it hit that second quarter, man, I became so disinterested and I felt like JV was asleep. I felt like I was watching a basketball game that was just given morphine.
Right. I think it's more so of the Miami Heat team just kind of it's like that meme of that guy slouching while playing the game and then all of a sudden just raises up and locks in for a minute. But I think it was on Twitter too. A reporter asked Spoelstra about the Nets record versus the Heat in the last 5 games. And kind of based on Spoelstra's reaction, you kind of knew this was going to be an uphill battle. So that's why I didn't really buy into that first half too much, because when a coach gets motivated, that's a pretty damn tough team to beat, especially a Miami Heat with that whole Heat culture. And they just have players out the wazoo that can come in and just change the game. So I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm not surprised the end of that second quarter and then moving forward, the game.
The coaching difference was just massively on display. Like the Heat started out bad shooting, and I think it was partly because of our defense, but they also were missing wide open shots. So it wasn't completely that, but we did play them better, kept it, close. And it just, but that, like, after that second, like even in the second quarter, the game was like up until the last here. Let me go to the second quarter because I feel like everything, like, okay. So mostly through the third quarter, it never gets anywhere. Like we're leading most of the third quarter, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I'm trying to remember where it was with like 2 minutes left, I think, or it was like a minute. No, bro, it was like a minute left, a minute and 11 seconds. Left. They go ahead 53-52, and then it goes 55-52, and then I think they added 58, and then they go 60. Like, and it just something, the coaching flip, because I also think, like, quite honestly, JV was not running really a lot of, like, nothing looked like it, outside of that first, like nothing really looked like they were doing anything to set anybody up. And then once
I'm gonna be honest, he hasn't ran anything all year for the offense. Kind of like last year with
moments, but by and large, yes, you're right.
Nah. Like Dinwiddie last year, it's kind of like he just looked at Ben Simmons and was like, "Yeah, offense is yours, handle that." And now no Ben Simmons here. We already had playmaking struggles with him, so now without him, it's just like you look at a team that has just never played before, and that's that. It just got ugly the minute the third quarter started, like the absolute minute the third quarter started. The Heat started looking in. They started noticing the defense was not as tight as it was in the first half, and it was pretty much all she wrote.
Yeah, like I think this is the other, like I personally felt like the team was tired tonight. I felt like the team just did not have it. And I do think Miami turned up the defense on the Nets. They had nothing going there. Dudes were gassed, right? Like Coach Vaughn has been playing this roster very tight for the first 11 games, like very tight. And there's arguably, I could say, at least three games for sure that he could have like put Giles in. Giles should have seen minutes. I think when Armani Brooks was here, I think there was a game where we desperately needed a shooter and like Lonnie looked weak. And Like he just didn't go anywhere to change anything. He just kept going to the same thing. Like, okay, I'll just throw Royce in there for more minutes. I'll just throw DSJ in there for more minutes. I'll throw all of the players, like, and I think some of these guys are getting a little tired because let's be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, like outside of Mikal, CJ, like these guys are a lot of guys have been having to step into starting positions that really should be role players. And they're having to play start minutes, and we're running back into that again. And I think I'm afraid is going to start happening. And I almost thought it happened tonight too, was CJ almost looked like he got hurt being tired. Mikal was getting tired and beat up.
Yeah, no. And you know what, the chat, this could easily seamlessly transition. I think more so is there's no real pecking order or system. Like, put it like this. Who would you say is the best offensive player on the team right now? Off those 11 games, it's probably Cam Thomas now, right? Jacque Vaughn is not going to run a system where Cam is your number one option. But then here's the kicker. It could be Mikal. It could be Claxton. It could be CJ. It could be anyone that could be the best offensive player. Jacque Vaughn is not running a system that has a pecking order. So, like, when you run this freestyle basketball where everybody can run the ball, or as Saint said in Spaces, if you heard, Jacque Vaughn thinks the ball finds wherever the energy is, whatever the fuck that means.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna get.
You gotta tell him that, dude, because I need to go back. I really need to learn how to cut video so I can compile it like the easiest way possible. And I need to do like Vaughnisms. I need to make that part of this show because they asked him about, it was Eric Slater asking about bringing the ball up.
Mm-hmm.
And did you guys have a discussion prior to the game about it? And JV's like, nah, I like the energy of the ball to find where it's going to be. And it's just like, that to me is telling me fully with what you just said, is he wants leading to it. He wants everybody to be the same.
Like, that's not how you win games.
He wants everybody to play position.
That's something tank coach would say. And we're not supposed to tank. We're supposed to be middle of the pack, slightly above average competitively. It's been since last season. Mikal Bridges' handle is really not like that. Even since last season, he's had some pretty dumb turnovers. So to have him on offense be a ball handler, it just doesn't make sense. You would quite literally, I mean, we were comparing him to KD last year. Use him in that KD spot where he's off ball, he's moving around, and draw plays for him. Like, draw fucking plays for him. Like, leave the ball handling to guys like Cam Thomas, to guys like Ben Simmons, guys that generally have a handle and doesn't get the ball poked out for fucking everybody.
The only thing I'm gonna cut JV a little slack on, because even the best coaches in the league deal with this, but sometimes the best teams, like depending the coaches correctly, gets the guy out that like they handle it. But then even good coaches can't handle like sometimes the injuries and the shit happens. So it's like there is a part of this where it's like overall, even if we were fully healthy and had no problems, I think we would be playing a lot better, hopefully, right, because we still haven't really been able to see what the full starting lineup is going to look like with this current squad at the moment, and whether Dinwiddie or Cam Thomas is going to be the starter. So it's like there's that aspect, and then it's like you add, it's like, and that's why on some level I'm like, even if all those things were great, I still wouldn't want JV as the coach. I'd like a better coach.
Right.
But at the same time, I also can't, there is a part of this where JV can't be blamed for some of this because of the injuries. Like, you're being forced to take guys you had no plan on maybe playing that long, putting them into the starting lineup, moving other guys. It's part of coaching, it's part of life, but it's just like, but that's the other thing. We're getting exposed for, we have a limit with our team. Like, I like the fact that JV has gotten this squad playing. Like, you have to give him kudos there. he did get this squad playing really like fast-paced, heavy basketball. Like, so you got to give him a little credit there.
Yeah, you can give him credit there, but at the same time, it's not like this current roster, the roster as is now with the people out. It's not like it's rocket science to try and get some form of offense, because look at, like you mentioned, Dinwiddie. Last year, he pretty much gave the keys to Dinwiddie to be the point guard for the team. And not for nothing, we were pulling our hair out. But when you look at his stats and how he performed, he was giving you double-digit assists damn near every other game. And it was to the point where he was giving you double-digit assists almost every game in that stretch.
Yeah.
And you're telling me now in this season, your main playmaker goes down, you're not going to try to go back to that? Like, you're not going to try to go back to that? You're going to let DSJ, Royce, fucking Mikal, like everybody else, and not go back to what quite literally was giving you positive on the stat sheet?
I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, because clearly the best person to bring up the ball right now is Dinwiddie, right?
Yes.
Like let's just be honest, right? Like, and we've seen, and this is the thing about Dinwiddie I do like, but it's like he can play many different ways. He's had to play. He's already shown you 3 different ways to play, right? He shows you he can just pop and shoot. Shows you can take it to the rack. Like, he's shown you a couple different ways that he can play this season. So that means that you can be a good coach, and you can say, hey, Dinwiddie, I want you to primarily focus on running the offense and getting these guys like let's.
What is stopping?
Imagine that.
Yeah, what is stopping Vaughn from doing what he did last year and just giving anybody the offense for just momentarily? It don't even got to be forever. Ben is going to come back. Cam is going to come back. But it's like, okay, let's just go to what was our bread and butter last year.
Hey,
like,
real
quick,
quick,
9.1 assists.
Yes.
9.1
real
assists.
quick, I got to apologize. I've been like spaced out. Like, it's been a long time since I've done this, and I've been like staring at the YouTube and not at the StreamYard thing. So I'm not like clicking on anything. I'm not like. So, all right. Sorry, chat. I'm back. I'm alive. I'm here. I've been in like spaces mode, but yeah, but right? Like, I mean, right, Cypher, right, Chubbs? I mean, like, look at that, dude. It's like, you're telling me you couldn't, like, we had a moniker, like, and this is the thing. Like, say what you want about JV, say what you want after the KD trade. Like, they did play very decent for 3 teams being thrown together to close out a season. And we arguably have a better squad now with better guys on the bench. So I do feel that when we're fully healthy, like, it's going to be, we're going to be a team that I think as Nets fans, we're going to be like, okay, like, you're happy with. Obviously, it's not where you want it to be, but
like, it's a competitive team at 100% at full strength. But even with the guys out, it shouldn't look this bad, especially when you still have a guy like Dinwiddie, who you quite literally made the point guard for that stretch of last season. For some reason, you're not going back to that. You had Mikal be a little more off ball, not too much on the on ball. Actually, not even that. You had CJ and Mikal you had them be the corner shooters a lot of the times. You had a lot of them be the wing shooters a lot of the times. We don't see that. They're ball handling more. So this is why it's like this system of everybody can ball handle is just not working out. Like, it's really just not working out.
Real quick, I want to do a bunch of shout outs. Some that AJ, shout out to Jared, Potty, Eric. I know we got about 35 people. Appreciate you guys. Kai from BK. That's interesting. I wonder who that is. Obviously, the mods, Isaac, Cypher, Age, my bro. We gotta catch up, Discord or something. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate everybody coming by. Let's see some other. I know I'm going to Paula Herc. Shout out to you, Luigi. He's back. Dr. AOD. Let's see. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Oh, now I'm all by myself. You guys are gonna get bored real quick. Because I got nobody to talk to. Let's see. Hey, so far in the chat, like, who's the guy? Just till I get some reinforcements. Jay from BK is on his way. AJ said he's coming. I'm sure Chubbs will be back. There he is in the chat. Who is the Nets player that's like been your like? I want to tell you mine, but I also don't want to. I don't know. No, I don't see. I don't believe that shit. You know what? My favorite Nets player that's been the biggest surprise, and I actually said it a couple like in the beginning when I was asked was Lonnie Walker. So for me,
That's
like
definitely Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie was like when we picked him up, man. I know a lot of people Nets fans didn't watch. Like I know good like real basketball heads that watch a lot. They know, but I know a lot of people didn't watch him because he played on the Lakers. Then he got hurt and he kind of disappeared.
Yeah,
We picked
I'll,
him.
I'll throw you a curveball. I'll throw you a curveball with this. For me, it's Cam Thomas. And if you go back to previous,
but you know what? I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised. Maybe I'm not surprised by Lonnie. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, because on previous streams, I looked at guys like DSJ, guys like Lonnie Walker, were pretty much, if Cam isn't giving us nothing, throw them in. That's how I was looking at it. Now, I really didn't expect Cam to be the cornerstone of our offense like that. Like, I expected him to come and give us what he's done pretty much his whole tenure here, but I didn't expect to be like, oh, Cam Thomas is the best offensive player. I did not expect that.
Okay, you know what because some people were giving me crap already in the beginning of the season because I always started. It's like if you go back to when we first got Cam Thomas, do you remember what I said? Probably not. It's okay. If you want to go back,
I gotta watch back and buy that.
If you want to go back and look, I basically said, like, dude, like the offense is not a concern with Cam Thomas. That's whatsoever. It was all the other intangibles. It was him getting adjusted to the game. In fairness to him, how he was handled by the Nets coaching staff since he got drafted, and he still what I said was, I said the big thing will be what is he going to do in the off season to get better,
right?
And then you come to find out we had that spaces with Jay with Nets Daily. We talked to Jay. We talked to other people that kind of gave us some, but like filling us in like what he's been doing, and it's paid off. And like, so I wasn't surprised at the scoring, but for me with Cam, what I was surprised, what really excited me about Cam this season was watching him within the offensive flow. Like he was passing, he wasn't skipping, he was keeping the ball rotation. It wasn't just dying like it used to in his hands a lot of times. Or he wasn't waving people off. Like he was getting and this is where, like, if you go back to maybe the JV comment about, well, did we win? It's not that. To me, it's more, okay, great. You're scoring like that, but how are you and I'm not even talking win or lose. I'm just saying, great, you're scoring like that, but how are you playing within the offense, scoring like that? And is it helping other people get hot? And then the other question is what I realized with Cam, which is going to come this season, is when Cam can take his scoring to a point where he can control the game with his scoring, that's when he's going to be even more disgusting offensively. And I think he has that capability. He has the IQ. You can clearly see he's learning and he's doing things. So,
yeah, I also remember I said what Cam Thomas is. He had to become so good, you really couldn't deny him off the bench. Like, he got so good, like Jock really couldn't. He couldn't pull the well, he has to be better at everything else card. Like he just became that good. Like, so honestly, moving forward,
it didn't look like Cam threw JV a curveball?
Yeah, not like
Come on, I'm just
he
saying
made
that's how
sure.
that's how it hit me. So I wasn't sure if I was
Yeah,
like, I don't know, like chat and like it kind
yeah,
of
he made sure JV couldn't pull the. I know what he can bring on offense, but it's about everything else. No, he made sure when he got his opportunity, it was going to be the last time he goes on that bench. It was going to be the
you think
last time.
some veteran before the season pulled him aside and said, "Yo, when JV puts you in there, like the first chance you get, he's like, just go ham. Just like don't give him like you just
Nah,
said, don't give him a reason to not play you or something
yeah, no,
because
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Like, not for nothing, Cam Thomas has had a monster stretch since he's gotten the genuine opportunity, and now when he comes back, it's a genuine conversation if he should start now. It's not
well,
like
I don't know how you. I mean, okay, see, and if again, which is what I hope, because the other thing that see, it sucks that we had the start of the season, but at the same time, in a lot of ways, I'm glad the season started the way it did because it really showed you what you got. But what it for me, it definitely did was if you have Ben or Dinwiddie in the starting lineup, the other one can't be there.
right.
In my opinion.
It's kind of like what
I would just
Claxton
rather
did.
like you need because I'm not comfortable with DSJ running the offense for the second unit. I'm not comfortable with Royce running it. I'm not comfortable with DFS running it. I would rather have Dinwiddie on the bench. Like it just like you still have Lonnie coming off the bench to score with you. You still have what like you still have a second unit that I think would be great personally. Like
Yeah,
you
no,
got to give
yeah.
like Ben
It's
is
just
like
gonna
if
make
Ben
sense.
is healthy. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if Ben is healthy, it's obvious what when he's healthy and he has played semi decent this year, what he does bring to the team as far as ball movement and the reboundings and the assist. Like he does bring. You're frustrated with him offensively, but you do tend to miss some of the other things he does on the court.
Right. So, and I see chat talking about it. So I think we can get into it.
Okay, put it up there.
It's mentioned at full health what this team could look like. But in the same token, when it comes to the 4 and the 5 rotation, how can Clax and Ben coexist moving forward? Or who should go to the bench moving forward? Or how should it
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't give a shot of running Ben. Like you have to give a shot of running Ben, Cam Thomas, McCall, CJ, and Clax. I think you have enough shooting between Cam Thomas, McCall, and CJ to be able to make it work. I don't see how you can't give it that. And this is the other aspect too, is if Ben Simmons actually changes his offensive game and he becomes a little bit more starts attacking more and becomes a little bit more like he gets closer to averaging. Like I used to think maybe 15, but now more like if you could get Ben averaging 12, maybe 13 points a game, and that's what he was getting you, but he was still getting
that's a hilariously low bar.
It is, but I'm just saying, even if he
I'm with you though. I'm with you though.
Even if he gave you that offensively, just him attacking would open up what we've seen so far even more. That's the part that drives me nuts. And
but I'll say this:
I don't want it long term, but it's the best for the season.
Yeah, but if you want it, but if you do want it to be sustainable, you need to.
Yo,
one of them has to learn. One of them has to get a jump shot, though.
Y'all heard me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Dude, I'm looking at that ceiling. And it looks like he broke into high school.
Yo.
Look at the red light. See, he broke into a high school. Look at that shit. What high school are you? What are you doing?
I'm calling from Baltimore. I'm in Baltimore right now.
Damn.
You in Baltimore or Boston?
Nah, Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore. Are you about to start Bucks Kingdom or something, bro, or what?
Nah,
Why you having this
I
talk
assume he's
again?
there for the Bengals Ravens game. I assume that's what you there.
yeah. I was there for the Ravens game. Give me a sec.
Nice.
Talk
to the people.
Yeah.
People thank you.
Keep going what y'all saying. Keep going. I'm gonna be right there.
No. All right. Hop in when you want. Okay, AJ's a traveling man now. Look at him. Look, he's got his jacket on.
Yeah,
you see that? You see that thing around his neck? You see that shit? Look at him. He's smiling. He's like,
I
don't know. He's like, look at it. He looks like he's up to no good. Look at that face. Look at that. Look at that face. He's smiling. You're gonna turn off his camera.
But tonight I was like, we really got bitched by the Miami Heat. Like Bam was bitching Clax.
That was bad.
It just
that was
terrible. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Spencer Dinwiddie's shot selection was terrible. It really hurt us. The turnovers in the first half killed us. It's just like bad execution on all 4 quarters, in my opinion. I mean, was there a quarter? Jimmy Butler would have had 18 in the third. Was there a quarter that you guys liked in this whole game? I didn't like any.
The first half of the first
literally
quarter.
the first quarter, yeah.
The first quarter, that's it, right?
The first
that's
half,
it.
The first half of the first quarter.
Yeah, like I didn't like any other. It was just confusion, and then the offense. You know how the offense goes. Like, CJ has been shooting well, and then Mikal tonight. It was just he did well in that first half, but kind of cooled off. But we had no answer for Jamie Jaquez and Bam tonight. The offense was run through Bam, but Jimmy got his too. So it was just like.
But bro, and I even said it like I was in Cash's pregame space, and and I said like if Spo is smart, he would just start running shit inside, and it's like once they caught once they started shooting, they weren't missing. It was like Duncan killed us, bro. Like that guy was left open, and he just kept killing us, and it's like they could have gotten really honestly. Like I'll give credit a little bit to Day'Ron. He did his best in the first half. Second half, not so much. Claxton came alive in the second half, played much better than the first half. So they both had kind of flip-flopped, but they pretty much got whatever. They could have had whatever they wanted down low if they really wanted to attack. Yeah. It almost felt like they really – because they really did – I mean, outside of Bam, did you really see any other player really going hard for them at all? It felt like to them this was just like a pickup game. That's what it felt like after the second half.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, when are we going to lock in as a team? I know we have so many injuries, so people are going to say, oh, we're overreacting. Guys are hurt. If we had Ben, but it's like, we kind of get exposed when we play really good teams, And I know we're 6-6 right now, and we've been going through injuries, but it's still got to be better than this. It's just got to be better. Like, well,
I mean, but are you at least happy with being 6-6 right now, considering how our season has started with injuries?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the tweet Billy Reinhart put out? I think I don't know if let me see if I can find it while we're talking, but to the effect of it, it was like, and this is what kind of like made me take
I didn't.
It kind of checked me.
Was it about the game?
No, it was about how.
Or are you talking about like a report?
I'll find it. It's hard. I don't want to ruin it. If I tell you, I'm gonna ruin it, and then it'll be stupid. So let me just find it. I almost have it here, and then it just makes sense. What he put out. Where is that? Oh, yeah, here it is. He said, Billy Reinhart put a tweet out, and he said, through 11 games, some key combinations for Brooklyn have barely shared the floor with each other. Guess how many games can – all right, let's play a game. Here, perfect. This is a perfect game for chat and you. Hopefully nobody else is looking at it and they cheat. That would suck. But How many games has Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton? Oh shit! I'm now by myself? What the fuck? I come back and I got no AJ either. This is fun. See, this stream is exactly how the Nets season is going. This is a perfect example. But anyways, chat, since I assume, all right, good. 38 of you are still there too. How many games do you think Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton have played together this season? In the chat, if you want to hit it. Anyone? Bueller? You guys are just going to make me die up here? All right. Appreciate it. One game. Ben Simmons and Cam Johnson have played one game together. Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson have played one game together. Ben Simmons and Nick Claxton have played one game together. Opening night against Cleveland was that one game. Like it's oh yeah, AJ, you lost right when I was explaining, but
oh well, yeah. What was the tweet?
So basically, okay, I'll tell you. I'll ask you. The chat and I just went through it. How many games has Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton played together this season?
How many games has Cam and Clax? Probably not a lot.
One game.
I would assume not a lot. Like
just
4.
one game. One.
Oh my god.
How many Ben Simmons and Cam Johnson games been there so far this year?
Ben Simmons, Cam Johnson, 1.
Yep.
Oh man.
How about Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson?
Oh, we barely see them together.
one again, and then I'll just tell you, same thing for Ben Simmons and Nick Claxton, one game together. So like, but when I read that tweet, it's just like, that's why it kind of hit me. I'm like, bro, like really, honestly, like we really just haven't seen, like we've seen some good things about this team, but we honestly just don't know what, quite honestly, the ceiling is. I think we can guess a little bit, but I like to think from the 6-6 record now because of the loss, like that's a lot better than I thought, considering all those injuries, where it's like maybe this team is better than we think.
Yeah.
Even with Coach Vaughn being the coach, right? Like, I'm curious if we're going to be able to be that team this season where everybody will be back fully healthy, and then you can say, okay, here's a fair evaluation of this team. Start trading.
You think people are going to use, like, they're going to give Jacques that excuse because people are injured, so they're going to be like, oh, give him
Jacques is going to get an excuse until this team brings on stars. Like legit, like until they make like a big trade for a star, or like I think he's going to get a lot of leeway until this team has like kind of come to maybe the slight end road of possibly their big trades. And it's like, okay, this is the team. I think it's like, how could you really even, and that's the other thing. I know there's people that like Vaughn, and even if I'm being fair, I can't fully blame how we're playing 6-6 on Vaughn. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he can't shoulder all that. Yeah, is there enough evidence there to be like, ooh, that's ugly? Yes. But can you blame this on a 6-6 start on Coach Vaughn?
No, he has clear coaching mistakes. He has clear coaching mistakes. Like, you see it during some of the games, like the timeouts he doesn't call, the execution in the fourth quarter. It's like whenever I feel like we lose close games, I kind of want to blame Vaughn, but it's just because I feel like other teams, they just know what to do. When there's 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, you have this certain game plan. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what to do. And for us, it's never like that. That's why we always lose these close games.
I think to your point.
Yeah.
And what for me is because, and I'm not going to, like the games that we've lost this season, I'm not going to put them all on him at all, because there were some dumb plays by some of our players at the end of some of those losses. But it's the ones where it's obvious. Like the one that bothered me the most is you had McCall Cam Johnson, and I can't remember if there was somebody else standing there at the end of God, what game was that? It was like a couple games ago, within the last 2 games, had him standing at the sideline to check in for 3 minutes. Didn't call a timeout, and we easily had possession of the ball numerous times within that 3 minutes. And these dudes just stood there, and we lost the game. And it was like stuff like that where it's like, hey, like, hello, like you're struggling to score out there and you have arguably 2 better scorers standing on the side. It's just stuff like that is what gets me mad about him. And then he'll go into his Vaughnisms and like stroke his beard and be like, we just got to be positive. And
His Vaughnisms.
hey, we just got, hey, 48 minutes. Everybody on the team's got, and that's the other thing. Everybody on the team's got to have 48 minutes of juice.
His Vaughnisms. Shout out to Keenan. He said, how was this on Vaughn? He's been good this year, minus the Klee debacle. I'm not a stan. Luigi said, worst coach in the league. Cypher said Nets could be a 9-3 if he had a slightly above average coach. Name 3 coaches worse than Jacques Fraud.
Oh.
Yeah. Damn, son. Y'all are going crazy. Y'all are going all the Jacques
Steve Nash. You got Steve Nash. You had Jim Boylan. He sucked for the Bulls. There's one more. There's a lot of bad coaches. You really just got to think about it.
There's a lot of bad coaches. I don't know if Jacques is bottom 3. What would y'all say? Or
he's not bottom 3, but he's not.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if the Nets are going to view him as this, like, let's just get people built in this way, and then like when we get some better players, they're going to bring in a better. I mean, I hope that's what happens, because there's really, I mean, honestly, with what I think is about to happen at the trade deadline and the offseason, there really is no point to get rid of him right now. I understand people want to, but it's like you're already paying the dude. Your team is going to change again, most likely at the trade deadline, and your team is most likely going to change again in the offseason. They're going to have a ton of people to sign. You have Claxton. You have Royce to deal with at the trade deadline. You have Dinwiddie to potentially deal with, and who knows what happens with Ben Simmons if they somehow pull this year and make it a positive for him. Maybe he goes somewhere in the offseason. So it's like, I'm not too worried about Coach Vaughn right now. I know it sucks to have him, but it's like honestly, what is, you know what I mean? Like,
I gave him
I'd rather get that better coach I'd like to get him this coming up off season, but I'm just saying, what's the rush right now?
I gave him a clean slate this year because I was like, all right, last year we was going through everything crazy happened. So this year I was like, I'm going to give him a clean slate. Now it's like at that point where I realized like he's kind of like I'm still going to give him a chance going down the year, but it's like I realized that he's a mid coach. So it's like we just got to accept that he's a mid coach. And the part that I'm mad at is that they gave him an extension without him proving himself to us. He's supposed to prove himself, then you give him the extension. We gave the extension to the mid coach before we even knew what his coaching style is, how he can do it out on his own. You know, so I'm like, why did we give him that extension if we knew he was mid? You know?
I don't even understand what the rush was. Like, why? Like, to me, that move was like it's a horrible, like if you were playing chess, like you basically just gave the game to the other side. I mean, it's like, why would you fold your hand that quickly in the season and then give 2 contract? No, we're not talking 1, bro. They gave them 2. They gave them 2 within what? Was it 2 months?
Yeah, it was insane.
Like, why wouldn't you at least wait till the offseason to say, hey, show us what you got and we'll talk in the offseason? Why is that so hard?
Yeah, that's what I was upset at. I was like, how did you
it's not like he's in that.
No, now you got to.
It's not like he's
all this money when you know he's going to get fired at some point. He's going to get fired at some point, whether it's this season, not this season, but in the next couple of seasons, he definitely will be fired.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then you're stuck paying him till 2027.
Oh man.
What I was gonna say, but you can read some of the comments. People are, yeah, the comments is funny.
Yeah, Jay needs to hurry up. I'm gonna send Jay a message, but yeah,
I texted him. I texted Jay, man.
I mean, okay, yeah, age. I'm not saying that I don't want to waste a year on a quality coach. I guess my point being is like, I don't know what I'd have to go look and see what good coaches are out there right now, but it's like, what's the rush at this point, right? Like, it's only going to change again. He has had some level of success. Like, I don't.
You should have just waited for Ime, man. You should have waited for Ime.
Yeah. I wonder if Ime in the offseason, if they see, that's what I was like. The smart play would have been, hey, Jock, you got the rest of the season. Show us what you got, and we'll have a talk in the offseason. You've been very loyal, blah, blah, blah. We'll see. And then revisit the Ime Udoka thing in the offseason. Because clearly when he went to Houston, was there any – I mean, granted, it's not New York. I get that. But still, the league didn't throw a fit that he got a coaching job somewhere. I doubt they would have cared if he came back here. He would have came back to an organization he was familiar with.
I think Josiah was just like scared or something like that. Like, you know how?
Yeah,
like,
Josiah drank the Kool-Aid. He got scared.
Yeah, he got
Dude,
scared.
he was already running for the woods with dealing with the Kyrie thing. Like, I don't care what anybody says. The timing of us almost being able to sign Udoka couldn't have happened at the worst fucking time. Excuse my language. Like, it happened right when we're dealing with Kyrie Irving and his stuff. And it was the worst timing where you already have all that attention. I don't think it was a widespread complaint as some people were trying to make it within the organization. I understand it to be a couple people maybe said something, but I think ownership, front office, everybody got scared. And they're like, we don't want to. Because I mean, but let's be honest though. Take a look at and this is not a Nets subject, but you look at who's about to play a game tomorrow for the Charlotte Hornets, right? Like, look at how things like that are being handled, and it's like I don't know. I think the league hates us too.
It just sucks, man. It's like we can never have nice things as a Nets fan.
Yeah. But how about them Clippers, huh?
Yo.
Yeah, we can hang our hat on the demise of James Harden. You're right, we can do that.
Yeah, man. And I say the Clippers because not for nothing, and I don't want to play the hindsight game, but how I see it, that's what we would have been if we tried to stay committed to KD and Kyrie. I feel like we would have gone down some path where we try to stay so committed to those two to where now you have a team of all these big names, and now it's just we don't even know if it works. We just want to get the names to secure that championship without even really discussing fit. And now that Clippers team, it just looks like hell on earth, that fucking Clippers team, man.
The league is like full of super teams now. I feel like every team is super team now. Celtics super team, Clippers super team, like.
But see, that's
I think Clippers is going to be this year, and then they're going to be like, all right, let's move on to something.
I don't think that team's going to last much longer as it's constructed, but I think that's where. What's that?
I was gonna say the Russ and Harden thing was a mistake because the Russ and Harden like blew up when they were together in was it Houston, where they were together before and it like got toxic, and now you're putting them back together, and they're kind of like they're both kind of the same player ish.
Well, and what I think is kind of stupid, which the Clippers is I felt like they just kind of figured and got Westbrook comfortable. Like he started playing really well for them, and I'm like, I get it. Like I still think you should be able to figure it out, but I often wonder sometimes when teams try to put too many big names on the same roster, like sometimes it just doesn't fit
It's
or
just
work.
not.
And I don't know if they're going to figure it out, but it's like sometimes it just doesn't work for whatever reason, and it's like,
I'll tell you this. The only way that team is going to work out is if Harden eats crow and gets benched.
he
Not
has
Russ.
to. Well,
And I'll say this.
whether it's he gets benched or not, it's he has to do what he has to do what Carmelo did, and he has to do what Russell Westbrook just did. He finally has to look at it and say, yes, I am a top player in this league. I can score. I can do this. But clearly, I'm not this guy anymore that takes control and runs the whole show. Like, I got to step back.
Absolutely.
And
but where I say Russell Westbrook was sold when coming to the Clippers. You can be you. Like, you can be you. You have the freedom to make your mistakes and not have all this pressure on you. Like, when he went to the Lakers, it was very obvious LeBron and AD, when it was reported they had that dinner, they sold him something completely different than when he got there to training camp on day one. Like, it was a completely two different stories he got. And then it kind of just fell apart in those years to come. So now going to another team where you just get that pressure off of you. Now you're getting comfortable. You finally have a little more freedom. And then they just trade for a guy where now it's a debate. You get benched.
yeah,
It's
where
I'm just saying, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. It can go really bad.
I want to pose a question or a discussion topic now to you guys in the chat, because I feel like it's early, but I still don't think it changes the fact that we have some decisions coming up that bear still a discussion no matter what time of the season. And you've got Nick Claxton coming up as a free agent at the end of the season, unrestricted. You've got Royce O'Neal, you've got Spencer Dinwiddie, and you've got Ben Simmons. There has to be a decision made in there somewhere where who do you value most as part of your future? And for me, arguably the easiest answer is Nick Claxton. Like, you have got to do everything you can to make sure that guy is comfortable going into the offseason, and that you guys can find common ground, because he's going to want to get paid. And that's going to be interesting to see what he wants as a contract and what the Nets want to pay him. But it's like, I just can't imagine at this stage of the game that you're going to want to re-sign Royce, Spencer. And for me, with Ben Simmons, and the reason why I want to move Ben is because I believe he is like Mike Stanton now, like Cashman said. He is going to, I think injuries are part of his game now, and I think it's going to be like that. And I don't think it's going anywhere. So I think you have to somehow move off him as well. So it's like, how do you guys want in the chat too? Like, how do you foresee or want that? Because I think that's like our first step is in building this quote championship team that the Nets want to do. And I think this is like that first thing is how we handle the Royce, Dinwiddie, Ben, and Claxton situation right now is going to be, this is like your first place. Like, you're either going to fuck it up royally or you're going to hit a home run. AJ, like, where are your thoughts? Because I got to imagine you're thinking long-term a little bit with like.
Yeah, me personally, like, I've been saying, like, even before since last year, I told y'all, like, I wanted our core to involve Clax and Cam Thomas. I wanted that to be our young core. But then this season, the Nets just went in a weird direction. Like, we kept some of the vets. We went young. We went completely young in the offseason, but we keeping these vets that have these big contracts, have all this money on their books, and they're not going to be part of our future. Like, there's no point of us having Spencer Dinwiddie on this team no more. And I know people are going to say, oh, we come at Spencer all the time, but it's like, you look at the game today, what do you have? 10 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and he was 2 for 9 from the field. Like, very efficient. And that box score doesn't explain how much like he affected the game in the first half. Like the shot selection was really, really bad. We couldn't even get into our offense. There were times where we gave Spence the ball and he was shooting before the possession even started. Like 24 in the shot clock, he's shooting it, a contested three. Like that's not how we're getting our offense off, and it affected the game. And with Spence going forward, like Saint was saying, during the trade deadline, we're at that point. It's like Spence is going to be an expiring free agent. So it's either you get rid of him and get value for him now while you can, or you just let him walk. Because we know we're not going to sign Spence to no big contract. Like, we know we're not going to just give Spence the
No,
bag.
dude. But that's the thing, though, bro. That's the thing that you have to be careful about because okay, when I say this, I know this is going to sound weird. I don't think the Nets are stupid enough to let a drafted asset like Claxton just walk or trade him. Like that would be one of the dumbest things you could do as an organization. Like you cannot cause see, that's the thing. Like, and this is why I ask you guys, and I'll go to Chubbs, is I know that you, all three of us, are probably, and chat will probably be on a similar idea of what we want to do. But then getting anything from the Nets, like if all of a sudden Dinwiddie, I'm just saying, if Dinwiddie or Royce are here on past the trade deadline, like we got problems.
Yeah.
Chubbs, you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say this. Claxton's number one priority. Like, okay, I don't know if y'all watched the movie Draft Day, but there was like one scene where Kevin Costner, like he had a sticky note and he's like, get this guy at all cost. Claxton extension at all cost. Like we could get nobody in the offseason, extend at Claxton. Like, and if he goes somewhere else, let it be to the point where the other team gave him an astronomical bag that was just unrealistic to match.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be. As far as Spence and Royce, definitely shop both. The best case scenario, shop both. If not, try to shop one. Like, put yourself in a position to keep Claxton.
You got to get value for these guys, man. You got to get value for Royce and Spence. Like, you was able to get value for Joe and Patty or whatever. But it's like, Royce and Spence should give you at least a first or at least a second. At least a second. Like at the most. Just keep stacking our draft capital. No offense to those guys. Like, they did what they did for us. They should be on teams where you're competing for a championship. Like,
yeah, I mean, because my hope for at least, like, because I'm not even going to talk about Ben because I think Ben is an off-season thing if that happens, right? So if I'm just looking at
that is a whole can of worms,
yeah, that's a completely different discussion. But like, if I'm at least just looking at those two, you ought to be able. Now, I think Royce is going to be a lot easier to trade than Dinwiddie is, only because of his contract, depending on who and what we're trading and getting back. See, like that's the other thing is are we going to watch the Nets do what they just did this offseason where they dumped contracts and gave away picks to get rid of them so that they could sign CJ without a hit? Like, are we going to get that kind of behavior from the Nets, hopefully at the trade deadline, right? Get somebody to bite on contracts and take as least amount as back as possible. Like, I wonder, or are they going to look to bring back or are they going to continue doing what they did this offseason? Look for young guys that teams are just not using and have maybe a decent upside. I wonder if that's their play. You saw today, same thing. What came out right away when the Levine shit, the Nets put it out there. We're not interested. Yeah. Every big name that has come up so far, Dame, not interested. Levine, not interested. Who else was the other? Wasn't there another name? No, I think that's been it so far, right?
Yeah, Dame and Levine so far, yeah.
So to me, they're being very, very, very selective with their assets and what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, no, they're definitely aiming for a Luka Doncic, a Trae Young type of guy, even an Embiid to ask out. Let's even throw a guy like Cat out. They're waiting on somebody to ask out, like genuinely.
But I think they're waiting.
Available.
But do you think they're looking for a quality? Okay, people will probably laugh at me when I say this, but if you look at Mikal, right, super durable, team guy, great locker room guy. Like, there's so many things to like about Mikal. That's the Nets kind of guy, right? Like, I think we've all figured out that's like, Sean Marks's type of guy. I wonder, like, is there a big name out there that kind of fits? I wonder, like, somebody that is a pretty much big name that's durable.
It's not a lot of big names
that kind of fits the Mikal mold that you would think they would, and that's what I wonder. Like, I wonder, are they just going to keep waiting? It's hard.
There's not a lot of superstars that are durable like that, and that's where.
Yeah, I'm not
like
even a superstar.
There's a value in a guy like Mikal. That's why he's valued, because he's just durable.
Or like a guy like Jimmy Butler. Like a guy like Jimmy Butler.
But even then, he has his injuries. He's had his moments where he had to set out for moments of time. So, maybe Jokic? Like, you rarely see him be out. But then again, he had his fair share of injuries here and there. But he's probably the best one I've heard not really dealing with anything.
He seems to be developing a game, though, that like is getting so good that it keeps him like. And this is why I think some guys are so good in the league. Is guys that the guys that can get so ridiculously repetitive with their shots and everything. So when like you see them out there, it just looks like it's carbon copy cut every time, and their efficiencies like. That's when. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I got to do something. A little emergency. My bad. Go for it.
All right. Yeah, so if you're joining us right now, we're just recapping the Nets just lost to the Heat. Got burned by the Heat, as the title say. So, again, hit that like button for us. Shout out to Hazy, man. Yeah, appreciate you, man. We've been kind of ghosted, but, we're back now. So we're going to try to drop content for y'all, all the people that, rock with Nets Kingdom. Again, we love y'all. Shout out to JR. Mikal isn't a number 1 or 2. It's funny because
I wouldn't go that far. I'd argue he isn't a true number 1, but a number 2, he can easily be a number 2. Dude's averaging 20 points. That's not a number 2.
That's Twitter.
That's literally number 20 points is literally a number 2. Like, that's not on like good true shooting. Yeah, that's literally number 2 stats. So I don't know what y'all on about.
They've been going crazy on Mikal. Like, people are calling him mid. People are like, yo, I was wrong about Mikal. It's like, you guys still got to give him time. And his numbers, like Chubb said, is not terrible. Yeah. I still got to give him at least half. Give me half the year. Let me look at his stats and then see. My expectations are maybe a little too high. I was thinking like Mikal needed to be 25.
Yeah, people got to chill on that Mikal crap, bro.
Yeah, we was thinking
come on, dude. Okay, we just found out dude has not missed a game of basketball since junior high in high school. Think about that for a minute, people. This man has not missed a game of basketball since junior high school. That is insane. Talk about what have we watched the last 3 seasons that would drive us nuts. You have all this money that's injured on the bench. Here's a guy with he's not a superstar. He's a really good player, but guess what? This guy is always going to fucking play. Yeah. Like, he rarely, I'm sure he's had injuries, but it's never been enough to take dude off the court. So it's like, people were coming at him like, and I agree, like with Jay and other people, where they said like, dude, they sold you that Mikal was like this number 1. And I think we were all excited because we just lost all these superstars, and Mikal was like a bright shining thing for us. Like, okay, here's something to be, but it's like to come at him and say he's like trash just because Cam all of a sudden took off, and like,
or
he was struggling to the season. It was stupid.
Yeah, but or to make it better, we should have accepted the Grizzlies' offer. Like, do y'all not think when y'all say these things? Accept the Grizzlies' offer. Like, okay, so let's live in La La Land for a minute. We do accept the Grizzlies' offer, and in hindsight, it goes perfect. They're the Grizzlies that what they are now, where they're like 2-7 or something like that. That pick's looking very good. Except, wait, John Morant's gonna come back, and they're gonna be a little bit better down the line. So that pick really isn't gonna be shit.
And they're probably
And not to mention they're probably
the deadline.
and they wouldn't even be 2-7 to start the season because McHale, Marcus Smart, Jared Jack, that's a good enough team to keep afloat. Like, not to mention, for what it's worth, we do joke on him a lot. Dylan Brooks was a backbone for that team. So to just trade away a guy like that, it's gonna look ugly, especially missing your best player in John Morant.
Do they have the same coach, or did they get a new coach?
The same coach as well. So it's damn near like a soft reset because you're getting rid of your gritty guy, your heart and soul guy, for a guy that's not familiar with your system. Your star player is out for 25 games. So if anything, you're making them better for free. Those 5 picks wouldn't mean to nothing.
Well, and I mean, listen, dude, the great thing about Mikal too is like, even if for some reason, say Mikal is just like, dude, I don't know what it is, but I just can't get my rhythm here. I gotta go. Right? Like, you see it in sports where like especially in baseball, guy comes to New York, whatever reason, it just doesn't work out. Guy goes to the next team and he freaking balls out like a champion.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's this, but I'm just saying, like, even at its worst, if Mikal didn't work out, it's like he has a contract and is a player that just about every team in the NBA would want.
Yeah. Yeah, not like does he not have that edge? Oh, what's up, Jay? I'll let you get to it, but let me just finish. Does he not have that edge like he did last year? No. But to say he's trash or he's a bum, like, that's just knee jerk. Like, y'all not really thinking, like, he's still giving you 20 points. He's going to play every game. And to say that he's going to be trash for the whole year, like, people are moving like he's going to be like this the entire year. When in reality, we're going to get a full season of Mikal Bridges. Like, we still have to see what that looks like.
Yeah. I mean, we still have to my biggest thing is I just can't wait till this team is fully healthy so we can actually get a real legit look at it, what it would look like with Cam as a starter. And we need to see it. We need to see it. But Jay, what up, bro? Welcome. Jay, fresh off the Spaces.
South Beach.
Dude, I think, when I got in the Spaces after the game started and DJ, I think from now on, Jay, the play is to have DJ go first. For many reasons, but DJ should go first.
He usually goes off. He went off in the Spaces.
Oh, dude, he lost his mind.
Crazy.
He did.
He went.
Y'all recorded? I want to hear.
Yeah, it's recorded. He went crazy.
I was dying, dude. I was trying not to like.
No,
is
he wrong though? Like, is he wrong?
Nah, he's not. No, he's not. He was
100%
accurate.
I wanted to ask Jay about the game. Like, you saw I don't know what it is with this team, man, because it's like we hang. It's like we can hang with the big teams, but then it's just at the end of the games, the execution just falls apart, and it's like a continuous pattern every single game. We fail in the second half, in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. But what was your thoughts on this game, man?
I'll say that the two positives that I came away with were, and I really don't care how the rest of the season goes. The guy is young enough that if you can lock him into a 3-year contract at the mid-level exception, you've got to do everything you can to convince Lonnie Walker IV to stay. You have to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think
100% agree.
I think he's 24.
Yeah.
He's coming into his prime years, right? So to know that he would be on your team 25, 26, 27, you got to lock him in. because there are not many guys who can score like he can. He's a 3-level scorer. So without him tonight, we might have lost by 40.
Yeah, I agree.
It's good because offense was hard to come by, and he was making a lot of plays on his own, which is what Cam has been doing. But the way he performed tonight was incredible, and also, man, and we talked about it kind of at length here and there. Nick Claxton, man, my God, man, that guy showed up tonight,
He did.
especially on the defensive end, but offensively, he didn't miss a shot. And they weren't even looking for him on offense like
Yeah.
that. You've got to figure out, are you going to meet his price? One team that I mentioned because I was watching the game, because I forgot the damn fights were on, but one team I mentioned who's going to have cap space, and I think he would fit them perfectly, is OKC. Nets got to make a decision, man. Do you plan on paying this guy? Because Nick, another guy who 24.
What didn't I just say that? I mean, AJ, didn't I just say like this is what the Nets? You've got to make a decision on what you're going to do, and your decision should be starting now, but you should enact part of your decision at the trade deadline. And by the way, do you guys like my Lonnie Walker photo I made with Rage? Skywalker. You guys like Skywalker?
Fire, that's alive.
Man.
Yo, but AJ,
I mean, in
AJ,
hindsight, I think the picture is a little, yeah. I'm gonna do better. This is the first edition.
Yo, that's hilarious. Yo, we got, but that's mainly the two things I came away with from this game in terms of like positives. I don't, for everybody who's been harping on how good the team has looked and they're always playing hard. One of the things that is upsetting to me about tonight's game, the Nets dressed 11 guys. The 12th man, and if you don't believe me, click on ESPN and click on box score. You'll see it for yourself. The 12th man tonight was Cameron Boucher-Thomas.
Boucher.
Who's sitting on the sidelines with a boot on. So clearly he couldn't have played, but he was listed as the 12th man tonight. Here's the problem with that. Cam Johnson, CJ got in foul trouble, 4 fouls in the first half. They only ran a 10-man rotation, and really it was 9 because I can't say in good conscience that Trendon Watford played because he didn't. Them putting him in the game with like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter when the game is basically decided, after they barely played him in the first half, and then he just didn't play at all.
Yeah, they sat him in the third, right? Then they sat him in the third. Yeah.
They sat him in the third and most of the fourth. And it's like, yo, you are still running a 9-man rotation. One of the issues I have with the team is that they dressed 11 players. The NBA changed their rules. You can now dress 13 guys. Wow. Cam Thomas was our 12th man who's sitting on the sideline in a boot. And then we had 5 other guys who could have been active that they have on G League assignment.
Yeah.
Which is DW, Clowney, Jalen Wilson, Armani Brooks, and Keon Johnson. You have 5 other guys who 2 of those guys could have taken up the roster spots. Why do you have them with the G League team that doesn't play until tomorrow night?
And other teams like Miami that just beat you are playing. Other teams are playing rookies. I don't understand why we're so beat up that we can't give some of these other guys on the bench some time.
Saint, all of these teams have rookies. It looks like every team that I watch has a rookie who's playing. I just was watching the Golden State OKC. Cason Wallace was out there killing for OKC. The pod kid from Golden State, he was out there playing for Golden State. It's like,
I mean, granted, those guys are probably better than Jalen Wilson, but if there was ever a rookie that we've drafted that could play in the NBA right now, it would be him.
I would I wouldn't
look at the
necessarily
Heat.
disagree.
Yeah,
I'm just saying of all the guys we've drafted as of right now, like if recent, like of all the guys, especially you drafted this season, he's the most NBA ready in my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't. But that's the thing. You have other teams who I'm watching who are playing rookies, and
Yeah.
whether the rookie is good or bad, they're at least
playing
playing them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
giving them that experience. In a game like tonight, where Miami goes up by damn near 20, well, you could have put a rookie in. You could have put two rookies in. Let them get some NBA experience in a game that you know you're going to lose.
Yeah.
We're not even doing that.
It's sad.
And AJ, the last thing I'll say about tonight's game, yo, it's bothering me because it looks like it keeps happening. Why is Coach Vaughn not calling timeouts?
Yeah. All game, dude. I couldn't.
Like, yo, is this Nash again? Are we going through the Nash? Like, what are we doing here?
At one point during the game,
I'm clear.
it
Bro,
just felt like
scary.
the whole
It's scary
after,
now.
yeah.
It's getting scary now. Like it's been a couple of games where he's done this.
Another disastrous second ending to the second was terrible.
Yeah, I have a theory or conspiracy. There's no brain inside Jacques Vaughn's head. Inside his empty ass head, there's a hamster on a fucking wheel, and like at some point at halftime, it just dies.
Nah,
there's
bro,
nothing
you
going
know who
on.
it is? Whoever was in Steve Nash's fucking head popped out, fucking jumped in JV's head.
Or you know what? You know in SpongeBob when they zoomed into Patrick's head and it's connected to a plug and it just disconnected. That's what happened to JV at halftime. It's literally it's a pattern. Like at halftime, this motherfucker doesn't do anything.
Dude, you guys are gonna fucking hate me for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
What are you doing?
You'll see.
Saint's in his evil bag now. Saint Evil.
Yeah.
Evil
Dude, and you know what's funny is my gamer tag actually is Saint Evil, by the way.
Saint Evil.
That's where Saint came from, dude. My gamer tag was Saint Evil for like the longest time, like because I played that game called DC Universe, and they had a power that was both good and evil. So
Somebody in the chat said Jacques Steve Vaughn Nash.
okay, here you go. This is what I think happened to our coaching. I think now just imagine this is actually Steve Nash. And when Steve Nash was fired, this is what came out of his head and jumped into Vaughn's head.
Oh my god! Oh, not the Men in Black.
Is that from Men in Black?
I'm just saying, bro. Like that's probably what's going on. Like, and it's like, and those things right next to the alien's ear, like its head, that is directly Sean Mark's audio piped right in.
That was the worst. He died, and I'm like, oh, there was somebody in there the whole time.
Like, remember when? Look how old this guy. Like, that was Steve Nash at one point.
Damn, son. So you thinking like it was like in Vaughn's head, Steve is in there, like an alien Steve?
There are some similarities, bro.
Nah,
what have y'all said about the way Royce O'Neal played tonight?
Oh my god. You haven't even got it.
Yeah, I don't even got it.
We were talking about trading.
Nah, man. What Cash say on Twitter? Royce giveth, Royce taketh. Like
and Spence,
every good thing he does.
Let's just for the sake of it, because I've been doing this every game. I gotta pull it up. I've been doing it every space that I do. So let's do minute distribution. Nick Claxton, 25. That's totally cool. Bridges, 35. Cool. Dinwiddie, 32. We know that's going to happen. CJ, 27. Cool. Finney, 31. Walker, 26. Royce O'Neal, 20. Okay. Royce was not great, but thank God it was a lot less minutes. It did go down. I think it should be under 20. Dennis Smith, 16 minutes too long. Watford
I-
should have.
I-
I don't
I'd
know
have
why
to-
Watford
I'd-
Watford
I'd-
was in immediately came in and made an impact and then never showed up again. Don't know why. 10 minutes. Horrible. Dayron Sharp. I get it, but it's just like he's still. It just to me that's why I look at that because it also shows me he's not paying attention a little bit too. Like how do you not recognize that Watford within 10 minutes played better than let's see Dinwiddie, CJ, and Finney to start like you get what I'm saying? Like it took them a full
but
almost
Saint,
quarters to get 3 quarters, almost 4 quarters to get double figures. Like just
Saint, that
doesn't
follows
seem-
my theory. But it follows my theory. The fucking hamster dies at halftime, and he does nothing. Like you see what I'm saying? What he like he'll
Yes,
mind
I
you,
see
he'll
what you're
coach for
saying.
one
I'm
half,
sure that's
and then,
big.
and then everything just
Yo,
like everything's working fine in the first half, and then it just nothing happens in the second half when you need to adjust.
Hey, I'm confused though, Saint. You talking about Royce only played 20 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
They were the worst 20, arguably, that he's played this season. Somebody in Spaces said he was a minus 20 something
today
in
was
20 minutes, yo.
today
Yo.
was not a today was not his like if you were hoping he had a continued from his last one, it didn't get close at all.
His defense was atrocious.
Okay,
and,
how's that? How's that?
AJ,
Is
I
better?
didn't. That's hilarious, yo. I didn't say this in Spaces, but something that irked me in the game because Lonnie Walker the fourth did it, Spencer Dinwiddie did it, and the Heat got fast break baskets on both of them. And a lot of NBA players do this, but it just irks me. These guys just be falling down on jump shots, and ain't nobody touched them. Like,
Oh, the one that CJ got away with a free 3-pointer, dude.
he
Nobody touched
damn
him.
sure, yo.
He buckled.
He may have touched him on the leg, like slightly with a finger.
I didn't see.
and
Yeah,
he fell to the ground. It was like, why are we doing this?
but CJ's leg gave out though.
It did.
When he came down, his back leg gave out. He landed all like funky and awkward.
Spencer
But,
does that too.
but you are right though. A lot of people, as soon as they get contact, they just immediately fall to the ground now.
And then Spencer complains when he falls down. He falls down
Right.
and complains.
But this is why.
Complains, not playing defense, refused to play
Yeah.
offense tonight.
Yeah.
But can I ask Jay this question? And I don't know how much longer you guys want to go. Me personally, I'm not working, and I'm getting paid, but so I don't have to sleep. I know you guys do, but I don't know how much longer you want to go. But my question to Jay, I asked the guys this earlier in the chat. If looking at this season right now and like moves that the GM should be doing, right? Like you have to take Ben and put him on the back burner probably till the offseason, right? Most likely.
Yes.
Okay. But something needs to be done with Royce and
Trade.
Spencer. And if they are there past the deadline, it is GM malpractice. I still think you have to take the chance on Claxton. You cannot let you cannot let a drafted player like that walk away or even trade him at this moment, right? Like I get if he's telling you behind the scenes, F you, I don't sign, then trade me. Okay, if he requests a trade, how about this? If Claxton comes out and requests a trade deadline at the trade deadline, then I get it. It's one thing, right? Then you already have your answer. But is that as far as for you going with how you envision the beginning of whatever moves they're going to start making? Because I don't know how far in advance their plan is or what they're even thinking, but like those are just your basic moves that have to be done.
Yeah. I think he wants to stay. It's just he wants his money. Clax, I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, Jay, how are you envisioning what I said play out? Do you think, I mean, we know it's the right thing to do, but Do you think that's how it's going to play out for us?
I don't even know what to say anymore because unless you have a plan in place, and they could have given Spencer Dinwiddie an extension back in August, and we're in the second half of November and nothing has come down. So unless you planned on giving him an extension, you have to trade him. You got to get something. Otherwise, he'll just walk on his own in free agency. Same thing with Royce. I'm pretty sure they could have extended Royce. I may be off on that, but I think that they could have extended him and they haven't. Unless you plan on paying him, you got to trade him.
Yeah.
Because you've got to get some assets back instead of just guys walking in the off season for nothing. Clax, yo, listen, man. What the Nets should be doing right now is whining and dining Clax's family.
Yep.
They need, I'm not even just talking about Clax. They need to be whining and dining his family. He's very close with his family. They need to be schmoozing with them. And in terms of letting it be known, we want you back in the worst way. Whatever's happened, if fences need to be mended, if you feel some kind of way about how you've been treated up until this point, you feel some kind of way how the first contract negotiations went, look, we apologize. We were wrong. We want you to be our center for the future. The idea that, one, do I think trading him is a possibility? I definitely think it's a possibility. Why you wouldn't want to build around him at 24?
Yeah. And Jay, don't forget about the Nets. The Nets were kind of sneaky. You saw how when CT started blowing up in the beginning of the season, they opted in on his team option. Don't think we didn't see that, Nets. Y'all were thinking about getting rid of.
That was normal, AJ. That was normal. Other teams were doing the same thing.
Why they opt this contract in when he started cooking? But
nah, dude, that's it. You were in conspiracy. That's a conspiracy.
It wasn't a priority. When was CT?
No, what I'm saying is they were going to do that anyways, bro. A lot of it.
You know what I know. CT was a priority.
Oh, so you said that.
We were thinking.
So you think that they were actually thinking about whether to accept it or not?
No, I'm just saying we were thinking about he was going to get traded. Remember, we were like, is Cam Thomas even going to play this year?
Well, no, I think what we said was, at least what I said was that depending on who the Nets were going after, yeah, you had to potentially look at Cam going in the trade, depending on who it was. That conversation happened with all of us like numerous times. But thank God nobody's become available like that. That makes you go, hey, I like you, Cam Thomas, but I like for instance, let me ask you this. Like if Luka or who's another guy, who's like another top guy you love in the league, right? Like if some player like that became available and the Nets could trade for him. Yeah, like if I'm just saying, like there are players out there that if we're presented to the Nets and Cam going out was part of the deal, you would say, okay, but not many at this point.
No.
Like at this point, I'm glad. I hope to God the Nets have pulled their head out of their butt and they just let the kid continue to play.
I'm just saying, like things kind of switched up because Cam had he had that bad reputation. Well, we didn't think of a bad reputation on him, but the way the team treated him, it wasn't like this beginning.
No, and they did do it
in his contract. It wasn't no Vaughn treating him a different way, giving him minutes. I mean, he's gotten minutes because CJ's been kind of injured too, but still he's getting more minutes regardless.
The words didn't even bother me.
Here, bro. Everything didn't just like
The words didn't bother me so much about what JV and or when they would speak about it. The words didn't bother me as much as like the literal actions of like, hey, you had an opportunity to really do something with this kid from the start, and then you just played with his time and his minutes, and you just like, it never made sense. Like he would do really well, and then you would put him on the bench like he did something wrong, and it just like it never made sense. Like they were never. But now it's like, do you think that JV and them, it's like it's all done, right? Do you think that there's any resentment or whatever?
I mean, like I said, I just say it's really shiesty how like they just switched everything up on Cam now. Like, before he was like not the most, I guess you would say the most hated, but like he was getting benched for Patty Mills. And now
I just hope he doesn't remember that. I just
Yeah.
hope he doesn't remember that when it comes time for free agents. It's like when he,
you know what I'm saying? He was getting benched for Patty Mills, and other guys was playing over him. And now it's like, oh, we're gonna opt into Cam's contract. Cam, we love Cam. We believe, it's like we're giving him.
well, but but in their eyes, they probably feel like they handled Cam Thomas the way he was supposed to be, and it wouldn't even matter.
It's like, see,
That's
yeah.
there's probably a whole lot of, I believe.
That's the exact reason why we run players out of here. We run our drafted stars or the people that we know.
And AJ, I got to do this on the record, so there's audio for the people that like gave me a hard time about Cam. I even found a tweet when we lost Kyrie Irving that said to the extent of like the Nets drafting Cam Thomas might have been the best move they did of the season. Like and that's like when he started cooking and Kyrie was out. I can't remember if it was injury or whatever, but it's like, even then you could see from an offensive standpoint, like where I was at with how I believed in his scoring. It was just then he was still kind of all over the place.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Let me read some comments. People are saying,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
No, I was saying one of the issues when it came to Cam, and I'm not comparing him to other players, but the opportunities that other players have gotten. For example, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, they played him as a rookie. Tyrese Maxey became a starter his second year on Philly. Philly has been pseudo contending all of these years, and they've never stunted his growth. And they've never given any excuses about why he wasn't playing. They've played Tyrese Maxey. And I'm going to tell you, with him being up for a contract next offseason right before training camp, he can look, and I don't give this team credit for anything. I think they stink. He can look at what the Knicks did with Emmanuel Quickley. Quickley is instant offense, and he helps that team tremendously. They wanted to lowball him, so he refused to sign an extension with them. And he's going to be a restricted free agent next summer. And then they're going to have to worry about giving him the whole bag that they did not want to give him before this season started. That's going to be the same area that Cam is in at the beginning, right before training camp next year. Are they going to give him the bag like J-Mac got the bag from Minnesota? They gave him the whole bag.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be what the Nets usually do, which is lowball people, usually lowball guys? And Cam can see his worth right now. Like, even in games that we won that he played, games that we lost that he played, he already saw without his scoring, we struggle to score.
And you think Cam would stay here? Like, you think Cam won't leave? Like, well, after how they treated him? You think he would go right to another team?
No, I think he would, but the difference is, as a restricted free agent, we can match it. Yeah. Would Cam just sign the qualifying offer, which not many guys have historically done, to become an unrestricted free agent in the class of 2025? Which
that would be oof.
Well, that free agent class right now is loaded.
Yeah.
So that
Worst
would
comes
be
to worst,
be
yeah.
tricky for him to
That's
do
true.
that.
We're gonna DeAndre Ayton him. Basically, like he's gonna sign with another team, and we're just gonna match it. No, you're gonna
Where he would come out publicly and be like, "I don't want to play there anymore,"
yeah, yeah,
which is what Ayton did with Phoenix. I don't want to play there anymore, and he
yeah,
signed with
Well,
Indiana,
and that's
and then they matched.
And
Yeah.
Jay, I don't know if you heard me say it earlier, where it's like the only fear that I have with Claxton is that they don't, they go with him. He's with us the off season, and somehow he doesn't come back. Where it's like, if it's gonna go bad, I just hope he comes out and says trade me at the. If it's not gonna work, I hope he just comes out and says trade me at the trade deadline. I'm just saying, if it's gonna fall apart with Clack, I would hope it would go that way, because then it's just easier to not. There's no guessing game. He doesn't want to be here. You trade him, you get something back for him. I would rather, if that's even in his mind. I'm just saying, I hope he does it that way, opposed to us watching him. Because if we watch him get signed with somebody else in the offseason with us thinking we're going to sign him, that's going to be fucking painful.
I might have to deactivate because Elon gonna have to suspend my account because the things that I'm gonna be saying and tweeting on a daily basis. Look, that I understand, and I'll mention these guys' names right now just to make this point. I understand Nets fans who hate Kyrie and who hate KD, right? I get it. Both of them verbalizing that they wanted to be traded allowed us to get assets back for them.
Yep, that's why I said it.
Clax doesn't have to do the same thing.
He doesn't. I'm just saying.
And
I hope he does.
But that's one of the differences between those two and Clax. Clax doesn't talk a lot. From what I've seen, he's not vocal like that. So he may keep a lot of things close to his chest. And look, I wouldn't personally, if I was going to go to another team, I wouldn't tip you off because you're now going to be the competition. And I wouldn't do a sign and trade either because now my new team has to get rid of assets so that to help you out with a team. And I've mentioned OKC because OKC has salary cap space next summer. OKC only has 91 million on the books next summer. They could just pay Clax.
Age said, can we offer him the most money? Since Clax is unrestricted, we're not the team that will offer him the most money. I think another team could offer him more money than we could. No,
I don't know if we should have his birds rights.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Now that he's unrestricted,
but
I don't know if that's
in the grand scheme of things, Clax comes from a great family, and they're not. I don't think Clax's sole motivation will be, I gotta be the highest paid, and you gotta max me out.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but he doesn't strike me like that. And everything I know about him and everything I know about his family, they don't get down like that.
Yeah.
It's more so of, well, let me not say more so. There's a certain level of respect that needs to be there. That's why right now you should be, everybody knows how relationships go. And I'm not just talking about romantic. When you building relationships, sometimes you got to show the other person how much you love them and how much you interested. The Nets need to be doing that right now, unless they don't plan on keeping him.
That's why I said I hope Clax says, "Hey, trade me," makes things a lot easier, takes all the guessing game out. But
and if he didn't do that, I would understand and I would respect it. Yeah. And at the same time, if you tell me that our starting center and our backup center next season are Day'Ron Sharpe and Noah Clowney, I got nothing for you. Because I'm not going to be happy.
Like, just give him what he respect him and what he brings to the table and pay him. because it's like you want him to be part of our. We all know it's obvious he's part of our core. Him and Cam Thomas should be part of our core. So it's like, what are we doing? You know?
He's
That's
24.
why to me it's important that you move off of Dinwiddie and Royce and try to get rid of as much money as you can, and then in the off season you get rid of Ben Simmons. Hopefully, my hope for Ben for the season, and it's not even about skills. It just I don't want a what if player anymore, and I think he's going to just continue to get hurt for the rest of his career, unfortunately. But if you can get him this season, if we can just get a little bit of luck where maybe he comes back and he can finish the season strong, that maybe another team's like, okay, hey, he seems to be back to playing to a decent level and he's got that wonderful expiring contract. That would be huge for us.
Yeah.
But
I don't disagree with that. The problem though is that a part of what you said, like in terms of paying Clax, they did last summer, where Sean was responsible for Joe Harris's contract, which Joe Tsai was not happy about. He ain't like Joe Harris's contract at all. And I know this is recorded, and they know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Joe Tsai did not like Joe Harris's contract. He thought it was an overpay. But he's responsible for Joe Harris's contract and Patty Mills's contract.
Exactly.
They basically traded them and assets to get rid of them, draft picks to get rid of both of them, only to re-sign Cam Johnson.
Salary dump.
Wait, right. It was basically salary dumps. So if let's argue and say they didn't trade Spencer and Royce, and if those guys walked, that's $30 million off the books. What are you just gonna put that number towards Clax? So what exactly are you doing? Like, you letting guys are, well, not letting, but guys are leaving the team, and you're not replacing them with free agents. You just giving the money to somebody that you already have.
Yeah.
That doesn't help the team at all. If for nothing else, trade those guys, please.
Let me read some comments. Shout out to Cypher. He said, we have Claxton's bird rights, so we can easily go over the cap to resign him. Shout out to Sean Bills. He said, Nets have a 22-year-old that can get you 30 and a 24-year-old big who is an elite defender and a versatile player that are homegrown. Pay them. To be honest, I don't give a F if you have to move CJ too. Shout out to Sean Bills. Nails carries our defense. And then Purnham said, not sure Psy would have liked to have a tax team near future.
He doesn't have to, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to, because
I asked you about Sean. Yeah, did he get his contract? We still don't know about that, man. It's been really sneaky with the Nets about Sean, man.
The Nets have not disclosed anything about Sean Marks' contract. The Nets have not even disclosed anything about Coach Vaughn's contract. How much is he making? And I'm going to add something to it, and I meant to say this on Spaces, but conversations just went everywhere, where everybody who's talking about, yo, we need to fire Coach Vaughn, what a lot of people don't realize is that the Nets are still paying Steve Nash right now.
Oh, yeah, they are.
He's still being paid this season. So the Nets are already paying two coaches right now. Y'all talking about firing Coach Vaughn and then paying a third one? That's what a lot of people don't realize. Coach Nash is still being paid this season. And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's no less than $9 million that he's being paid.
It's sad. And shout out to Eddie. What's good, bro? Yeah. It's just that we're really the same man that keeps making these like foolishness, this foolishness mistakes with these contracts. It's like he's still hired. He's still here. That's the crazy part about it, right? Like the guy that overpaid Joe Harris, the man that overpaid Patty Mills, kept him on the team, giving these bad contracts out, ruining relationships with players. Don't get me started with D'Lo. You know what I'm saying? And then he's ruining relations. These players are coming here and they don't want to be in net no more because of Sean, bro. Like Sean is like, it's just the way he runs things is not how players like it, and it shows with the players that have gone. You know, and I don't want that to be Cam and Clax next. Like, I don't want them to hate it here so much that they're like, you know what, I give up, and I see a better opportunity, I'm gone. You know, because we drafted these guys. Like, we can never have our own stars. We can never develop our own stars. As Nets fans, when's the last time we developed our own stars, our drafted stars?
We
You know?
haven't.
Yeah, it sucks. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you, we talked about this. I talked about this like a week or two ago. What it's going to come down to is Cam Thomas is going to be the best Nets draft pick ever if he stays a Net.
Yeah.
And in the immediate present right now, if he stays a Net, Nick Claxton is going to be the best Nets draft pick ever until Cam starts really scoring and being one of them ones.
Yeah.
It's going to be those two. But aside from those two, who else have we drafted that's actually made a difference as a Net recently?
Exactly.
Nobody. And the idea that Nick Claxton could leave next summer for nothing.
Oh my God. Scary. It's scary times, man. Scary hours.
Yo, can somebody, because I don't know how to work this at the same time, can somebody look up the net salaries for next year and see how much salaries we have on the books for next year?
Cypher, yeah, Cypher got us. Cypher, you still in here? Look that up.
I think with the exception of the two rookie contracts, I know we have the two rookie contracts. We have Ben making 30 however much, CJ making 20 however much, and Brooklyn Bridges making 20 something. I think those are the only 5 who are under contract after this season.
Hey Jay, you've got look this man in the face, Jay.
Yo, take that down, yo.
And say thank you for being on the team that drafted Cam Thomas.
Yo, take that down.
Look into his eyes.
Nah,
Just look at those. Just stare deep into them.
Oh my God, you stupid, man.
I know.
Yo, but I think we only have 5 guys under contract next season.
Did Cypher put it in the chat yet? Hold on.
No, I'm sure either Cypher's asleep or he's working. But what did Jay want? I'll Google right now. What?
Look for the Nets salaries, and then they'll tell you what the net salaries are
Wait,
this season.
Cypher put it in the chat. He put it in the chat.
But then the next thing will tell you what next season salaries are. I'm almost positive we only have 5 guys under contract. Oh no,
Cypher
we
said,
have Cam, Day, the 2 rookies, Ben, Brooklyn Bridges, and Cam Johnson. So we should have 7 guys under contract.
Cypher said 116.6 M in active salary for 2024-2025, 8 players.
Who's the 8?
Here, I'm gonna wait. Here. Hold on a second. Don't hey Cypher, I appreciate you doing that, but I'm gonna do this for you. Make it easier.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are the 8 players?
So
I'll be back. I'm Uber Eats is here.
where's that plus button? There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, you need like that.
That's clear enough. So, yeah. So on 25, 26, you got 1, 2, 3.
No, 20, 24, 25.
1, 2. Damn, if we can get off Ben's, that would be beautiful. 40.
25, 26. Oh, no, he did 24, 25.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
He said DFS had 8.
The next season, and obviously the following season, though, it drops off massively.
Yeah, because Ben's number comes off.
Yep.
And I think Brooklyn Bridges comes off also.
We basically, okay, so if you can see the number here. So right now we're at 150, it'll drop to 116, then it drops another 56,000 or whatever, 57 million. I mean, between That's not bad. I mean, and that's the thing. Even next year's though could potentially be lower if
It could be,
Marks
but
plays it right. I don't know that he's going to be able to in the offseason, but
they're gonna look. The number's going to go up because Cam Thomas has to get his money. Like
right.
if they decide that they want to keep Day Day would be back, but Day ain't getting no big money. He's not.
All right. If you somehow, and this will be another indicator of what the Nets are going to do. If they somehow dump Dorian like DFS at the trade deadline, then you know they're just going to fire sale. And
Why would they? Wait a minute.
I'm
Why would
just
they
saying.
trade him?
I'm just saying. If they did something like that, then you got to worry.
Yo, if they traded Dodo, my God, man.
I'm just, dude. You have to prepare. Listen, I am the guy that's going to give you every possible outcome that the Nets might do. So you're prepared.
I don't want the depressing outcome. That part you ain't listening to. I want the depressing outcomes.
I can't help it, dude. I can't help because you can't tell me with a straight face, Jay, that you haven't seen the Nets do something as close to stupid as that already in the last 4 seasons.
I know, and I'm dumb enough to think that something will change.
Yeah,
I'm dumb enough to think that something will change. But no, but AJ, going back to the what would you do question that you and Saint have, you have to have an honest conversation of, in every one of us, with the exception of a few people who I saw on Twitter talking about they thought we could be an Eastern Conference Finals team this season, and I don't know who their supplier is, but they clearly on some hard drugs. Every one of us knows this season ain't it. Well, in preparation for next season, do you think Spencer Dinwiddie is in those plans? Do you think Royce O'Neal is in those plans? We all are asking that Nick Claxton be in those plans. So the money needs to be there. And really, it may not even be a money thing. It may be a comfortability thing. So, but with Royce and Spencer Dinwiddie specifically, if they're not in your plans, and both of those guys are vets, so maybe they're looking for their last nice payday. If we don't plan on giving them more than $10 million apiece, they may not want to be here. Maybe Royce can get a $10 million mid-level exception offer, $12 million mid-level exception offer from a team for 3 years. And
I think Royce is gone no matter what, quite honestly. But I wonder if, like, as you brought up veterans, I wonder if the Nets are looking at either one of these guys of like, hey, we want to keep one of these veteran guys around. That's the thing. If I had to make a choice, I probably would keep Royce over Dinwiddie. I know that probably sounds ridiculous.
If I had the choice, I would trade both of them.
Yes, if I had a choice, but if you had to choose one over the other,
you tell me what the number is. Is Spencer Dinwiddie looking for another $20 million like he's making now?
I think it's fair to say that Dinwiddie would get paid more than Royce. So that's the question: is how much more than Royce?
No, the question is how much would they be getting paid? Because if you're telling me Royce's number is, he makes 9 point something now, a little bit less than 10. If you're telling me Royce is still making it like his number is at 10, do I want to pay that? No, I don't.
No.
If you're telling me he would get a raise to maybe 12 to 15, do I want to pay that? Absolutely not.
But you would have to agree that Dinwiddie's probably going to get paid more than Royce in the offseason, you think?
He definitely should. Yes.
I just, and that's like the other thing. Like at the end of the day, I don't know if we put AJ to sleep, but at the end of the day, it's like they have to make, like, it just makes smart basketball. It just is a smart decision to just try to move off these guys and get something in return. And if they want to return in the offseason, great, revisit. But like, you're not winning anything. Get some assets for them, revisit in the offseason, move on. Like,
Yep.
give some of these younger guys an opportunity to get some playing time. Get Lonnie Walker healthy a little bit more. Give him a lot more playing time. Throw Watford in there more. There's no reason Watford can't step in and do some of the things that we've been watching Royce O'Neal do. Like, how many times did we see Royce O'Neal on Bam Adebayo tonight?
My God, please, man.
Like, and you're telling me that Trendon Watford wouldn't have done a better job?
I don't need that visual. Let me say this before I'm about to call it a night.
Yeah, we're gonna shut it down, but go ahead.
Tonight's game was bad on so many levels that, and I know a lot of people have hung their hat on, well, we know this team is going to come out and play hard every game. They didn't come out and play hard tonight. They didn't. They were beat from the beginning to the end.
Did they look tired to you? I thought they were tired, man. I think JV's tight ass rotation is tiring.
9-man rotation and
it's like JV. I'm gonna give a Jay from BK analogy. It's like JV has a lump of coal in his ass and he's trying to get a diamond. He will not let go of that tight ass rotation, dude. I don't fucking get it, dude. It just boggles my mind.
That's what I asked Eric Slater the other night. That when one of you are going to ask, why do we have such a tight rotation in November?
Yep. He's going to eventually ask that question. He tried to kind of dodge it a little bit or say, hey, it's not, I don't think it's, but I think that question is eventually going to come up. Okay.
The sooner the better.
I think it is interesting. And to be quite honest, like even with other Von's issues that I feel he has as a coach, if he had gotten that, just like that aspect of this season right, where he came into the season and he was just doing right by like when to play somebody, when to pull, and like the right minute distribution, and like if he had actually handled just that aspect of the season, I would probably give him a little bit more credit. Like just to show that aspect of it. And I said this to Netscast, Brant. I said this to Caleb, and Caleb's like, no way. And I was like, and I said, hey, this question that I have is, okay, say we do trade Dinwiddie and we do trade Royce at the deadline. Who's going to take their place? Like, who's going to get more time? Like we all, and everybody's turn. I was like, but then the other question I had was, are we going to see a continuance of a favorite? Is it going to be DSJ? Is it going to, you know what I mean? Like, are we going to, like, is that what we're going to transition into? Or would we actually get to see the right guys step into the place? And, because I think if you do get rid of Dinwiddie and you still have Ben, I think you do kind of have to maybe look for another ball handler if you can get one out, but I don't think that you would. And I would probably think, oh, great, they're going to let DSJ do it. So it just,
right. Before we get out of here, I want to talk about I want to talk about Ben. Like, what is everybody's thoughts? We got that report from Brian Lewis about Ben's nerves. I think he had like did he say pinched nerve?
He had a bacchiotomy.
Is that what they call it? No, that's not what they call it.
Okay, but listen, I'll tell you what because I talked to my doctor today, and no lie, I have a very similar thing to what Ben has. We both have issues with our L4 and L5. We both have nerve issues, which is what he's going through. So I can speak from saying if he's feeling anything remotely close to what I'm feeling, then he is in some physical pain. With that being said, I'm getting a micro lumbar decompression basically to clear some way to relieve the nerve blockage. But he actually had, I think, either one of his L4 or L5, he actually had part of it removed. So there is a difference. It's like, so the way I'm looking at Ben Simmons now for me is just as simple as this. I get it. The guy does have some good things. There are some issues, obviously. But even if he's like, I just feel like that injury is going to continue. And I am so done with what if players. I'm done with players that we're not going to get our money's worth out of. And I think he's going to be another one of those players. So for me, where I'm at Ben, like there is no apology for him. Like, I don't care how good he plays this season for me. I need him to not be on my team as soon as possible, because to me, I think having him in his contract hampers your championship vision of what team you're trying to put together. Like, he's not in my vision plan. So that's where I'm at on Ben.
So did this news convince you, and I'm going to ask Jay this, did it convince you to close the door on Ben this year? Like,
no, I'm just, yeah, and it's all injury. It's not even play. I'm not even mad about play, bro. It's injury. I just think he's going to be a continued injury issue. And I'm so done with those players. And I hope they can move on from him.
Because what stood out for me was like his play in the preseason. I'm like, it's like a whole different player. When the preseason, like you look at these clips I'm showing you, he's attacking the rim. He's shooting middies.
Didn't he run through, like, didn't he bowl, like, run through two people and, like, shoulder to shoulder and, like.
He took it right on LeBron. Then we get into the season, and it's like this man is just scared of it's like the rim is his worst nightmare. It's like he just doesn't even go near it.
I'm not even going to lie, but with his back, I wonder how long he may have been feeling that and chose. This is my speculation. I think he's been dealing with whatever he's been dealing with his back for a while. And I think the issue that happened with Giannis was just a way for him to say, hey, just to kind of let it come out. Me personally.
So I'm just trying to figure out if that was if his back was an issue, then why did he look so good in the preseason? He was dunking.
His back he probably felt good then. Because if you do look at his play, I can't remember what was the other team we played, where he literally ran through two players and put it in the hoop. And I was like, and we were all hyped. We were like, yes, this is the Ben we want to see. But then the season started and it looked like last season.
It looked like last year. Yeah, it looked like last year.
Like, you didn't have a problem with the defense. You didn't have a problem with the rebounds or even the assists. You didn't have a problem with a good portion of his game, but when it comes to the offense, and then it's like you add in this back thing, dude, like, I'm sorry, but the L4, L5 area and the issues that he has and I both have, like, they're some of the worst ones that just never really go away. Like, you've got to find a miracle doctor to get you right. Like,
damn.
And Greg has access to the top level shit, but that's where I'm at with him, bro. I don't know about Jay, but
no, I was gonna say from AJ's question, this injury didn't change my mind about anything. I've been said the first opportunity you get to trade him, you've got to trade him.
Yep.
Because I never thought he would be fully healthy again. Backs in pro athletes, once your back goes, your back ain't no coming back from your back being gone.
That's like the T-Mac. The back spasms, they ruined his career.
Well, but some players get lucky and they're able to bounce back, but it's not a very long list of players that have back surgery and come back and have a decent long career, right? Like, even if it doesn't
I can't think of one.
Who's the guy on but who's the guy on the Nuggets that's actually doing good? He came back last year and won it. Who was that kid?
Michael Porter.
Yeah.
But he's still be going
I
in.
know, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
he still was able to come back to a level of moniker of success.
Oh,
but
yeah, he was. Yeah.
the list is not long of guys having great careers after back injuries.
No, but one of the things for him though is he doesn't play the way he used to play.
Nope.
And
Porter?
Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
And they don't allow him to either. He's basically a jump shooter.
They're trying to keep him healthy.
And that's all they use him for. They're not using him as a point guard and wanting him to attack the rim and be the best defender and all this other stuff.
That's
AJ,
smart.
my feelings. No, Denver's a championship team,
Yeah.
so they do a lot. They do a lot of things that are.
They're keeping a hell of a shooter healthy, and you got to give. And they still win the chip. That's crazy.
Right. I don't confuse them with who the Brooklyn Nets are. Like,
Oh yeah, no, we don't.
at all. But that goes back to the whole thing that AJ is asking. It didn't change my mind at all. The man has to be traded at the earliest convenience. He has to be traded. Which do I think it'll be during the season? No. Do I think they'll trade him by draft night or soon after the draft? Yes.
Wow.
Dude, I will say this: if Sean Marks somehow trades Ben Simmons at the trade deadline, I will not say another bad thing about that man for the rest of the season. I will not. Like, even if he does something stupid after that, I won't even say anything.
He's gonna have to add some draft because we didn't even get Ben's.
No, I'm just saying. But to be honest with you, if somebody did take him and all it took was us giving like whatever second round picks we had, I'm not gonna lie, man, I might do it. I might.
Yeah, but that's what people like this week been talking about.
I doubt it happens, but I do it.
No, but they talking about trade him to Chicago for Lonzo Ball.
No, why?
How does that? No, but that's my point. Him trading him doesn't mean anything if we trading him for somebody whose NBA career may be over.
Yeah.
Like you ain't helping us. The reason why I said this summer is because he's going to be an expiring contract. And teams will be looking to gear up for the summer of 25 when his money comes off the books.
And that's 40 million, dude. I thought it was 35. I didn't realize it was 40.
I thought it was 35 also.
It's
40 million.
40.
A team can sign a max guy for that.
Now, is that too here? I'm gonna pull it back up just so I'm not like stupid. Ben Simmons, yes, 24-25 season. He makes 40,338,000. Yeah. Does that 40 number turn people off or no? Or is it
who off?
like does the bigger the number the better, or does it not matter?
The bigger the number the better, because teams will be able to afford a big name free agent.
Yeah, and Jay, like Jay said, if he's expiring, that's all you have to say for GMs because they love that. You saw, I think Russell Westbrook was making what 40. He was making like something like that.
He was making close to 60.
Oh yeah, he was making way more than Ben.
50, something like that. He was making a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is like if Sean Marks wants to get back in the graces of some fans a little bit, how he manages, and then to also answer your question, AJ, it's like how he manages to navigate getting off of Ben Simmons' contract. It's gonna this is where it's like, hey, dude, like if you want to earn some love back from the fans, like pull this off. I know there's a few fans that like him, but I think by and large the fan base is done with it. I think they're ready to move on. So hey, if you want another feather in your cap, Marks, like pull this off by the trade deadline. But it makes much more sense that teams would even be interested, because who knows where this injury thing is. And this is the thing now. It's just like how it is in politics today, and how all the news medias are, and how Democrats and Republicans are, where it's like you don't even know what is like true, or you don't even know if somebody is trying to feed a story to a reporter to make a point, or like make it not so bad. And it's like, it's always been one thing or another with Ben. Like you're finding out information in weird ways, and then when asked about it, the response that the team gives is like not. It's all shaky, bro. Like
They be lying.
you just can't. You don't. So you know what I mean? Like, so this most recent thing where, oh, I did this and it's not as bad as it is, and da 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 da, and it's like could be that. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a all
It really
season.
hurts, man, because it's like I was tricked again. Like I thought Ben was gonna be it. I was tricked. It really hurts my heart that Ben is like we're going through the same thing we've been going through for like 2 years in a row now.
AJ, last question for you with Ben. If Ben is injured like this all season, right? Say this becomes a thing for the whole season. He's in and out. Trade deadline comes. You obviously don't have anybody great to run the offense, but Dinwiddie at that point. Does that affect, you think, whether they trade him or not? Or what would you do?
I think what Jay said, like, we're gonna be, unfortunately, we have to keep Ben because we didn't even get his value.
No, not that. I'm talking about Dinwiddie. Like, what do you do?
No, he's gotta go.
So does it, no matter if Ben is out, you'd still do
no matter if Ben is out or in, he's gotta go.
I agree.
I mean, what if we're like number 2 or number 3 in the East? Does that move you to keep Dinwiddie?
I mean,
What?
dude,
How are we gonna be that?
No, I'm just saying, like, if magically we would just get up.
So say we all right. Better question is, say we started the season with no injuries, and we were right now third in the East.
9-3, like we should.
Yeah,
be.
like 9-3. Yeah, like we had some, like, would that change your view about moving any of these guys? If we were just killing it like that all season?
Nope.
Really. Yeah.
My
We're not
view
going to
would
be up
not
there
be
anyway.
changed at all.
Yeah, we're not going to be up there anyway.
It's look, that's the part where I understand NBA fans. They get hyped about a team's record. Some teams have a record that is incredible, but you can look at the team and know that in the playoffs they're not going to do anything. That would be us if that was the case. We have no horses to do that in the playoffs, because what teams would do is they would scheme to stop Cam Thomas, and then dare the rest of us to beat them. And we've already seen that we have trouble scoring if it's not Cam Thomas.
Yeah. Let me read a couple of these comments. We'll get out of here. Shout out to James. He said we need to trade everybody except Cam Thomas and Dinwiddie, and get as much first-round picks as we could and start a rebuild.
What? Wait, James, did you just wait? So we understanding that correctly? Did you say trade everybody but Cam Thomas and like you want to keep Din? You think it?
I think you meant Claxton. Did he even mean Dinwiddie or Claxton? I don't know. Shout out to Davion. I blame Nets medical staff, lack of transparency more than Ben being injury prone, to be honest.
Mm.
Oh, wait, he put another one. We need to trade everybody except for Cam Thomas and Claxton and Walker. Then we have, he switched it up. All right.
Oh, yeah. I told you made a typo. It was a typo. All right.
What? Oh, so you want to trade Bridges, CJ, Dinwiddie?
I'm not trading Dariq Whitehead at all.
Oh, he said we got to get multiple first-round picks for Bridges, CJ, Dinwiddie, and Ben to start a rebuild.
James, while I don't necessarily fully disagree with you, the problem with you can't do a full rebuild because we still owe Houston the 2024 pick. And don't we owe them a 2026 pick and have a swap in 2025?
Potentially.
We don't have our pick.
say what you want about Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, but the great thing about them is their contracts are very tradable and they're still young. Even at the, like any time during their contract, if they stay healthy and they don't have any significant issues, like those are great contracts for anything at any time. Like,
Yeah.
there are positives. There are positives to our situation.
I think our first pick starts in 2027. Isn't that the Mavs pick? I think we have like the Mavs pick in like 2027.
Here, let me
No,
see if I
thought we had Phoenix pick before that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That might be 2025 or 2026.
I think
Here, hold on.
Phoenix is 2025 pick.
Okay.
I'm almost
here's
positive we have the 2025 pick.
Houston owns our 2024, 2026 first, 2025, and 2027 are pick swaps, all unprotected.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So we can't tank.
Yeah, we can't rebuild right now. Unfortunately. We just have to be mid. We have to be in the mid category.
Let me tell you something. The way Houston playing, they swapping with us in 25 and 27.
Yo, they've been balling, yo. Why did they balling?
Yeah, so we don't. It's right there. 2025. We have Phoenix first round, no protections. Miami second round protected. 31 to 37. Then 26, we have our own second round. The Phoenix ones at least will have 1 year. 26 will suck unless we somehow trade and get one, but at least like consistently from 27 on, at least you're gonna always have picks, which is nice unless you trade whatever. But
yeah, it's somebody said, when are we gonna be good again? I don't know, man.
I mean, I get see, and this is the other thing that I think that bothered me about the offseason was it was like people wanted us to just go after somebody like Dame because they didn't want to be mid or they didn't want to. It wasn't even about really making a smart basketball decision or building the team the right way or giving, like, seeing what you got in draft picks and other shit like that. It was like they wanted just a quick fix, and it's like this, if you do it right, it should take a little bit of time. Like, yes, you can get lucky by certain players maybe becoming available that you can trade for that you didn't anticipate, but building a championship level organization does take a little bit of time. And it's fair to say that we're a little handicapped in some areas. So it's going to potentially slow or have the potential to make a dumb decision, but whatever. So yeah, get comfortable. Like, I don't think this, I think if anything, the Nets are showing you right now is they're not in any rush to jump right back in.
That's disgusting, man.
That's my belief. That's
no, I'm not disagreeing with your belief. I still think it's disgusting, though. Like, whoever is that asks when are we gonna be good again, next season we should be good. We should.
Yeah, we should. I mean, but to be fair, like, because then think about this: if Sean Marks does the right thing and this team makes the right decisions this season, you should. And this is why I've had zero expectations and why you can just kind of let go a little bit. Is if he does it right, this team should change once again at the trade deadline, and then it should change once again drastically in the offseason.
Yeah.
So why?
It should, but
and it should be better.
It should, but you keep saying Sean Marks.
I know.
If Ben is hurt, I don't know how long this season, and he's wasting so much of Josiah's money. Like, at what point does Josiah say, "Come on, man,
I've had enough"?
I mean, and for anybody who's still talking about we won the trade, both teams lost the trade.
Yeah, nobody won the trade.
Nobody.
The only thing that you could say, it's like interesting. Yeah, nobody really won it. but it's funny that the Sixers trade Harden, and they look great. They look really good right now.
And then we see them on Sunday coming off this disgusting loss.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, if there's ever a lineup right now and the way as tight as he's playing it, I think we're gonna this. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get as lucky as we did for the last 10 games while we're waiting for Ben and Cam to come back.
Oh, I didn't say this. I didn't say this in here, but I think Jack Manuel had posted a question on Twitter about our first 10 games. We were 5-5, I think. And he was asking, what do people think would be our record for the next 10? We have so many winnable games in this 10. My delusional self talked myself into that we could be 8-2.
Oh my god.
Wait, who are we? Okay, wait a minute. I'm pulling this up, and this will be the last thing we do. I know AJ, unless you got to do something, but I'm gonna pull it.
You can end it after this, brother.
Yeah, I'll pull it. I'm gonna pull up the Nets schedule just so we can all get in.
Who do we just beat?
All right, here we go. Let's see.
We're
I
now
said the trade was
6-6.
so bad that it allowed Maxey and CT to flourish.
Damn sure did. Damn sure did.
We should have taken Maxey. Forget about Ben for Harden.
Yep.
Joe Tsai, I would rather have a team that plays hard that I'm proud to own that wins 40 games and fights for the play-in than have a team that has way more talent than he's not proud to be a part of. That is Joe Tsai. Shout out to you, bro. That is an exact Joe Tsai quote. Oh my god.
All right, here's our next
Next 8 games.
Yeah. So here right now we got the Sixers. That's going to be a tough game. Do we have a chance of winning it? I think just from what I've seen from this team, yeah, I'll give the team a chance, but that's a tough one. The Hawks are starting to play a little bit, but they're kind of hit and miss. They come out, have a good game, and then they look stupid the next game. We already know what the Heat are doing. They're heating up, and who knows how long they continue on their win streak. Like, they could still be on a win streak when we see them again the day after Thanksgiving. The Bulls should beat them. Raptors, that's a winnable game. Bulls, Raptors, Hornets, obviously. Let's see. Is there more? The Magic again, that's a win. The Kings, that's going to be and then you go right in. Oh, wow. And in December, you go right into Kings, Suns, Nuggets, Warriors.
No, I think the 10 ended right there.
Yeah, it did. It did.
So the two losses I thought we would have in the next 10 were to Philly and Sacramento. I thought we could beat all the other teams.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Who did we beat? When did we play? On Tuesday? Who did we beat on Tuesday? Orlando? Yeah, we beat Orlando on Tuesday.
Yeah, our last win was Orlando, and then we beat the Wizards.
But the Wizards was the 10th game, so we were 5-5 after that. We beat Orlando, which was the 11th game to become 6-5, and then we lost tonight. I thought we could legitimately win 8 games, and the only 2 losses I thought were Philadelphia and Sacramento. Now, I'm clearly wrong because we lost tonight to Miami, but there's so many winnable games in this. Like,
yeah, it just again, I'm going to say it, man. I think Coach Vaughn is going to burn this fucking team out.
Yo, if they only dress 11 guys on Sunday, I bet the Long Island Nets got a game on Sunday, and they're going to have all of these guys with the Long Island Nets.
But, dude, that's not even – see, that's the thing. I don't even care. Like, you still have 2 players on your bench that you could use. Like, I don't even care. Dude, play your freaking back and forth game with the G League and these guys. Don't care. That's what they should be doing. The fact is you have 2 players on your bench that are arguably, well, not now after Ben gone down, but are still 2 positions that are arguably something that you are drastically having an issue with. In a lot of
you need to DM some of these beat reporters and ask them to ask that.
I do,
because they ain't nobody. It's like they don't even care.
Yeah.
But anyway,
if Sunday Harry Giles III and Watford are glued to the bench again, I don't know what to tell you.
I really don't understand why he's not playing. Well, Harry Giles.
Yeah, and it's not. And what's interesting is, like, you could say yes, he was signed to be on the bench, but this is a guy that, like, you know, where I've said something similar before, where I brought up a guy, and Jay's like, "Well, if that guy's in the game, we're in trouble." And it's like, but this guy can actually play. It can actually give you what you want. Like, and what you need, like, and you're not even giving it a whiff. Like, you have been actually given more time to, it just, I don't know. And I mean, but listen, everybody that showed up today, I don't know how many people still hung around. I think the highest we got to was like 60 at one point. We have been MIA. We are back. We're going to be back stronger. We are going to be having a little bit of change of structure of maybe scheduling, maybe not every game this season, because let's be honest, everybody up here does have a life, and sometimes it's tough. So we do the best we can. So we're gonna.
Mid.
What's that?
And our team is mid also.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think at some point there's only so many conversations you can have about the same thing. I think that is unfortunately why I keep trying to go to these, like, looking to the future and trying to figure out what the Nets are going to do, because that's all we can really do is wait. But we'll be back.
Shout out to Age. Shout out to Cypher. It was good. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, we'll get back in the swing of things.
Thank you, Jay, for pulling up.
Yes, Jay, for pulling up.
Appreciate y'all having me.
So what is it? Saturday? No, when's our next game? I'm done. Sunday. Oh wow, we actually get 2 days of no Nets.
Hit the like button.
It's gonna be unbearable on the timeline.
Oh my
Fellas,
God.
I'm going to sleep, man.
Oh my God. That's Twitter still going crazy.
Good night, y'all.
I'm going to sleep. Peace, everybody.
All right.
Fellas, I'll let y'all.